Of Behind the Mic. My name is Mike Avery. So this is Mike Behind the Mic for September the 8th. We're already into the month of September. How cool is that? Labor Day weekend is behind us. The fall hunting seasons now are kicking off. The weather. Good morning, Rich. How are you? Thanks for joining me on Instagram this morning. I do appreciate it. Live on Instagram this morning. Good morning, John. How are you? Live on Instagram, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, and live on Facebook as well, using a platform called StreamYard. Good morning, Ed. How are you, my friend? I will be live tonight. Good morning, Robert. Nice to have you along with us. Paul, always a pleasure. Johnny, those Bears, Johnny, are driving me crazy. Brad's with us. Mike is with us. Marty, good morning. How are you? Again, this is another edition of Behind the Mic. My name is Mike Avery, so it's kind of a Mike behind the mic. Paul, good morning. How are you? I look forward to seeing you Friday night. I'll be out at the Woods and Water show. I'll be at the... Hey, Heath. Haven't heard from you for a while. How are you? Tim, good morning. Bernie. Wild Morels, nice to have you with us over on Instagram. Jason checking in from the Ira Township Fire Department. Tim says, long ashes, right back to you. Long ashes to you. Doug checking in from Cincinnati. Friday evening, I will be out at the Woods and Water show at Imlay City. And then Saturday, Paul will be, from Versus Skins, will be at booth 290. Up and running baits in Atlanta. Ross, that bear you had on camera was pretty impressive. And Johnny, your bears are very impressive as well. Paul is not in hell this morning. He is in Alger. Ed says, hopefully see you at Woods. Hey, Ed, will the entire Versus Skins crew be there at the Woods and Water show? I'd love to stop by and see you guys. Paul says, reminder, small to 6L. Versusskins.com is the website, versusskins.com. Good morning, Jerry. So Friday night, I'll be at the Woods and Water show, and then Saturday, I'll be at Jay's Sporting Goods in Clare to celebrate their 50th anniversary celebration. By the way, tonight, I'm doing a Wednesday night live from Jay's Sporting Goods. Now, of course, my Wednesday night lives are at 7 o'clock. So under COVID hours, the store is now closed at 7 o'clock. So we can't invite just you, Ed. Well, Ed, I always look forward to seeing you. We can't invite people into the Wednesday night live tonight. But what we're going to do is we're going to give away tonight on Wednesday night live from Jay's Sporting Goods. Here we go. Johnny says, come on already. What day is it? Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. Thank you, Johnny. Hump day. So tonight, Wednesday night live, since you can't join us in person, if you watch the live stream tonight, and unfortunately I can't go live on Instagram, but I'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn tonight at 7 o'clock from Jay's Sporting Goods to help kick off their 50th anniversary celebration. And we are going to give away a Rapid River knife. Now, it's not identical to my folder, but it's a 50th anniversary edition of a Rapid River knife. It's their skinning knife, and we're going to give it away to somebody who is watching tonight. So please join us for Wednesday Night Live at 7 o'clock. I will be live at Jay's Sporting Goods, and you can win a Rapid River skinning knife, a 50th anniversary Jay's edition. How cool is that? Corey's heading up to Bravehearts Lodge in Pellston to hunt the Liberty Hunt this weekend. Jim checking in from Hersey. South Florida checking in. STP Outdoors joining us over on Instagram. So Friday night, I'll be at Woods and Water Show. Saturday, I'll be at Jay's Sporting Goods. Now, Saturday night, I'm hoping Saturday night, looks like the hunter I was going to sit with is on his own. Johnny says, I'm going to win one of those knives. My hunter's on his own. Johnny, a question for you. What percentage of your hunters feel more comfortable with you with them? And the follow-up question, Johnny is a bear hunting guide in the UP. Johnny, the follow-up question is, hey, Mark, I enjoyed your comments. Do the hunters ask you to sit with them, number one, because they're new to bear hunting and they're nervous? Or are they looking for help in judging the size of the bear? Both of those legitimate concerns, obviously. Good morning, Butch. Nice to have you along with us. So either Saturday night, depending on what time I get out of Jay's, or Sunday night, because Sunday morning I'll be in church, or Sunday night, I'm going to be taking advantage of the youth hunt with my grandson, Carter. We're going to be hunting at my buddy Scott Gatz's place. Scott has thrown out a generous invitation for us to come out, and we'll see if Carter can't use his dart and crossbow to put an arrow through a nice doe. Johnny, you're excited about that Ohio deer hunt, aren't you? You know, I think, and I'm going to check with Bill Piles, I think we have one more opening for this hunt. I think we've got space for one more hunter in Ohio. So if you want to join us, let me check with Bill first. But I'm pretty sure we've got room for another hunter. Good morning, Mike. How are you? Mike Paul 9 joining us over on Instagram. Good morning. How are you? Steve Provo, nice to have you with us on Instagram as well. My name is Mike Avery. Is it legal to run dogs right now for training on bear? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, bear season's open now, so isn't there a 1 week period where dogs are not allowed? But I don't know the answer to that. Does anybody know the answer? Is it legal to run dogs right now for training on bear in Michigan? When is the hunt? Paul, the hunt is October, help me out somebody, 11th through the 16th, I think. Ross said no. No, you cannot run dogs right now. And Ross says no, exclamation point. Mike Paul 967 checking in. Good morning, Mike from Indy. Have a beautiful morning. You as well. Indy's a great town. Anyone received their turkey patch? Johnny says first-time hunters, I think, fear of the bear getting them, and that's not funny, even though they have a weapon, and the big one is judging the bear. I get it. First-time bear hunters. I mean, it's you're hunting a critter that has teeth and claws. Johnny says, no, they cannot run now up till the 13th. So to answer your question, Brian, it is not legal to run dogs on bears right now. It's called the quiet time, Ross says. The quiet time. And Ross and Johnny both have big bears on their camera. Big Bill Go Blue. Good morning. How are you? Hey, Big Bill Go Blue, what did you think of the game last week? Nice win. Of course, it is Western. Nothing against Western, but it's a MAC school. It's not a Big Ten school. And a little concerning about Michigan losing one of their key players, right? Corey says, Mike, are you hunting whitetail in Ohio in October? Yes, Corey, I am. I'll be down there with several of the folks watching right now. Paul says, what size is Carter? He's a little guy. I'll have to find out, Paul. Ed says, White River bears like to climb up the tree you're in. I've never had that happen. Arrowhead X, nice to have you along with us on Instagram this morning. My name is Mike Avery. This is another edition of Behind the Mic. This is something I do every Wednesday morning at 8:45 from the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. I'm here to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. I will be live tonight at Jay's Sporting Goods for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. That's at 7 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, where we are going to give away a Rapid River knife. Not this one. This one is mine. This is a folder. We're giving away a Rapid River skinning knife, a Jay's 50th anniversary edition, to somebody watching tonight. I said I'm here in the studio to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. Here's who's coming up. Number one, right off the bat, Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands. Here's the deal on the Primal stands. I got to make myself a note. We have switched over from outdoorpregame.com to primaltreestands.com. If you want to, I think so. I think, Corey, we've got room for one more. Big Bill Go Blue says, next man up, they will beat Washington. Go Blue. Will I do some live videos of my hunt? I will do some live videos from the camp, but I doubt if I will be live from a tree, but I don't know, or from a ground blind. Speaking of ground blinds, Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands. If you want to get one of those Wraith 270 see-through blinds from Primal that I am a huge fan of, we used to have them over at outdoorpregame.com. Now you've got to go to primaltreestands.com. That's primaltreestands.com. Use the promo code Avery, and you can get one for like $199.42. Wraith 270 see-through blind, primaltreestands.com. Use the promo code Avery, and everything on the Primal Tree Stands website is at a discounted price if you use that promo code Avery. Now, the Wraith has the biggest discount on it. By the way, I found out that bear I shot in Ontario a couple of weeks ago. Pat's doing a promo for Michigan right now. No, that's right. That's no problem. All you've got to say is Michigan, Pat gets fired up. That bear I shot in Ontario, found out it was the first animal ever shot with the Darton Toxin 100 RD crossbow, and it was the first bear ever taken out of a breeze blind. Ross says he's got 4 of them. He absolutely loves the 270s. Good morning, Mike, my brother. How are you? God bless you as well. Mike, you need one of those Wraith 270s. Go to go to primaltreestands.com. Primaltreestands.com. Use the promo code Avery, and you can get one for $199.42. True North Guide Fishing with us. Hey, good morning. How are you? It was nice to have you on the radio show here a couple of weeks ago. Chris Laylor joining us. Gus at Sam's, Pizza Sam's in Midland. Good morning, Gus. What I want to do is build up this Instagram live feed. When Instagram allows us to put it over on StreamYard with everything else, we will add it there. In the meantime, I have to do 2 different feeds. Michael Essie says, I just got a package from VersaSkins. So stoked. VersaSkins.com, VersaSkins.com. Mike, you're a tall guy, but you're not big around. Good morning, Brent. How are you? Paul Perone was telling me they actually sold a 6X because they have sizes up to 6X now. That's a big boy. And I don't think, Mike, you're tall, but you don't need a 6X. At my biggest, I needed a 3X tall. Fortunately, I don't need that anymore. Good morning, Brent. Also in hour number 1 of this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show, Nick Percy of Killer Food Plots. Is it too late? Did we absolutely miss our window of putting in a food plot? We'll see what he has to say. It is one big jacket. He ordered the 6X. Not because you need it, because you got room for clothes underneath it. Now I know who ordered the 6X. And isn't it nice that VersaSkins, who is also a believer, makes them available for you, Mike? Mike, we need to talk. Call me later when you have time, maybe before you go live. Ross, does that mean you're going to join us in Ohio? Johnny says, morning, Mike, you missed it. Bill gave me your spot in Ohio. They're all good spots in Ohio, Johnny. Wherever we want to sit, that's fine. And then Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News talks about the big outdoor weekend coming up. Greg is checking in from Clark Fork, Idaho on a bear hunt, slow going. He's going to a different bait today. Brian said it is not too late to plant cereal grains. In hour number 2, Sand Sass talking about the early goose hunting. Michaela LaBute of MUCC joins us. And I'm sorry, Michaela, I forgot the topic. It's something about, it's either the on the ground or habitat restoration or something. We'll learn more in the show. This week's Ask Avery segment dealing about baiting in Michigan. It's a twofer this week. Will we have baiting return for whitetails in the lower peninsula? You can't do it, Ross. Come on, Ross. Will we see baiting back in the lower peninsula of Michigan for whitetails in the near future? And the second part of the question is, why do I dislike snakes so much? And according to somebody, why am I always posting that you should kill snakes? I have never posted you should kill snakes. And in hour number 3, we're talking with Michigan's Mr. Walleye, Mark Martin, about fall fishing. And for you Saginaw Bay walleye anglers who have been saying it's impossible to catch a walleye out there right now, Mark went out there last week and caught a limit of fish. Of course, Mark could catch fish in a bathtub. What else? Primaltreestands.com, primaltreestands.com. Use the promo code Avery, MUCC.org. Use the promo code Mike, all caps. MichiganBrand.net. Use the promo code Mike21. See, I'm saving you money. You got to spend a couple bucks to save a couple bucks, but I'm saving you money. Topic of discussion this week on the Outdoor Magazine radio show one of them will be the youth hunt. I will be out there either Saturday night or Sunday night. You should, Mike, take some pictures. Absolutely. I will be out there Saturday night or Sunday night, hunting with my grandson Carter as part of the youth hunt. I am a huge fan of the youth hunt. I talked about this last week. I am bothered that some people dislike the youth hunt, and that's fine, but I think the reasons that people dislike the youth hunt are not valid. For example, good morning, Pastor Joe. How are you? Good luck to you and Carter. I'll be out with my daughter. Good for you, Joe. Excellent. Joe, we're waiting for our second list. Maybe you'll be on that second list. Maybe we'll be talking to you again. A test? All righty. Pat Johnson's here in the studio with me. Got to do a test of my broadcast microphone as opposed to the social media microphone. What are my thoughts on a bait-only spring bear hunt in Michigan? I don't think we will ever see one. I really don't. I appreciate it, Joe. Can I call you Joe on here, or do I have to call you Pastor? Pastor. All right, Ross, go get those bait buckets, buddy. Good luck to you. Seeds. Gotcha. Well, I'm working with Nick Percy at Killer Food Plots, so I got access to seeds too. I just haven't had the time to get out there and do it because I was up in White River bear hunting with you, Ross. Youth hunt. I think it's a great idea. People say it's unfair. Well, why is it unfair? Well, because when you were a kid, you had to wait till November 15th, and it was cold, and it was miserable, and you had to earn that buck. Why do we want to worry about making kids earn their deer? Why do we not want to, in today's world, when kids have so many distractions and so many other things vying for their time, why would we not do everything possible to encourage a kid to get involved in hunting? And if that means giving them a little bit of an advantage in the middle of September when the weather is nice and the weather is warm and the deer are still in their summer feeding patterns and they're not skittish and they haven't been shot at, why would we not take advantage of that? Well, I've been watching that buck all year long. And that kid came in out of the blue and he shot my buck. Really? Do you want to go on record as being that selfish? Shot your buck? Unless that buck is behind a fence and you have paid for it, it's not your buck. I don't care if it's on your property. I don't care if you've been watching it for years. I don't care if it was eating out of one of your food plots. I don't care if you have trail camera pictures of it from years past. I don't care if you have sheds from it from years past. I don't care if he's on your hit list, and I don't care if you named him. It's not your buck until you put a tag on it. The kid didn't shoot your buck. And if he did, oh well. Or if she did, oh well. People say, well, yeah, but these kids won't stick with it. Maybe they won't stick with it. But if we could expose them to hunting when they are kids, at least they'll have that frame of reference. They'll know what hunting's all about. And when they're adults down the road and when they're asked to vote on hunting-related issues down the road, they will be more inclined to vote with us instead of against us. And the final thing is, people complain about parents shooting the buck instead of the kid. I will admit I might be a bit naive on this about how much it actually happens. How much time, Pat? 2 minutes, good. I don't think it happens that often, but people tell me I'm being naive. People tell me it happens a lot. The circles that I run in, the people I hang around with wouldn't do that. But apparently there are some dirtbags out there who would, to which I say those people are dirtbags. If they're using the youth hunt to shoot a buck, they are violators. They are criminals. And there's nothing we can do about that. If somebody's going to do something like that, they're going to find another way to do it. You can't blame it on the youth hunt. Now, having said all of those things, and the fact that I am a big proponent of the youth hunt, and if you stick around and watch the first segment of the show, you're going to hear me say this all over again, but you get it first. I wouldn't mind seeing Michigan's youth hunt go to a does-only hunt. And the reason is it teaches kids that does are indeed a trophy. It's far harder to kill a big old matriarchal doe than it is a stupid year-and-a-half-old buck. It helps knock down the doe population, which the Michigan DNR wants to do anyway. And it takes some of the social pressure off the hunt. So the crybabies can't cry about some kid shooting their buck. Hey, Heath, how are you, buddy? I will see you guys in October when you come to Bill's. I'm going to come up and have dinner with you one night. Excellent, Bill. 30 seconds. Charlie Rood in the studio with us here now. All right, my friends, I've got to switch gears here from my social media microphone, bump, 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 to my official broadcast microphone, bump, 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 and I will put my official broadcast headphones on. And I will not be able to talk with you directly as I have been for the past 20 minutes or so. However, just a reminder, please, if you want to win a Rapid River knife, not this one, but one similar to it, a Jay's 50th anniversary edition of a Rapid River Skinner, join me tonight on Wednesday Night live from Jay's Sporting Goods on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, where we will be giving one of those away to somebody who's watching. See, all you got to do is watch and you can win. There's a slogan in there somewhere. Watch and win. All right, my friends. Only problem I see that mentored youth wouldn't get opportunities at Bucks if they went to do. True. Very true. All right, my friends. Have a good day. See you tonight, 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. You can remember Rapid River Night. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine Show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. My name is Mike Avery, and I am so glad to have you along with us as we continue this 3-hour weekly celebration of the history and tradition of the outdoor lifestyle here in the great state of Michigan and occasionally beyond. How are you this week? You got through Labor Day. What was your Labor Day weekend like? Mine was interesting. They call it Labor Day, and apparently in my household, that's what it's supposed to mean for 3 days. Laboring. Working in the yard. Getting the yard ready for fall. That's what I did on my Labor Day. But things are changing, right? As we're talking right now, as you're hearing this show, the big Woods and Water News outdoor weekend's going on in Imlay City. Jay's 50th anniversary celebration is going on at their Clare store and their Gaylord store. Small game season opening up. Michigan Bear season's open now. Early goose season. Can you really call it the early goose season anymore? I think I keep calling it the early goose season, but it's part of goose season right now, right? It's not like it's the experimental early teal season anymore, right? It's just teal season. Small game, of course, rabbits, squirrels, grouse, woodcock. It's just a wonderful time of year, isn't it? Wonderful, wonderful time of year. Amidst and amongst my heading down to the Woods and Water show and heading up to Jay's for their 50th anniversary, this weekend at some point, and I don't know what evening it will be, it's going to depend on schedules, but I will be in the woods out at my buddy Scott Gatz's place with my grandson Carter, taking advantage of the Michigan Youth Hunt. I'm excited. Carter's excited. Scott's excited. And a lot of other hunters around the state right now are excited about this youth hunt. For those who don't know, the youth hunt or the youth season is a 2-day, a weekend in mid-September when young hunters have a chance to get out and go deer hunting before the regular season starts. And I think most people would say, great, get those kids involved, get them out there, teach them how to hunt, get them, expose them to the outdoors, expose them to hunting. But the Michigan youth hunt gets a fair amount of criticism, and it sticks in my craw. Some people say it's unfair. It's unfair that we should let those kids get out there early. It's unfair that we should let them get out there when it's still warm out. It's unfair that we should let them hunt deer when they're still in their summer patterns. It's unfair when we should let them try to get a shot at an animal that hasn't been shot at yet, that isn't skittish yet, that isn't spooked yet. It's unfair. They didn't earn it. They didn't put their time in. Let me ask you this. When you went hunting the first time, deer hunting, did you earn that opportunity? Did you do something to set you in a position where you could take advantage of it? Or were you just a kid who happened to take advantage of whatever opportunity arose? Now, I go back to when I started, right? I wasn't bow hunting yet then. So it was November 15th. And go out and sit in the cold, in the snow, freezing my rear end off, hoping to see an animal, rarely seeing an animal. And yet I stuck with it. Why would we not do everything we can to encourage kids to get involved in hunting, especially these days when there are so many other opportunities, so many other activities vying for their time? These kids are torn in so many different directions now. Why not get, and this is a cliche, why not get them hooked on hunting now at an early age? People say, well, they shot my, it's not right. Those kids go out there and they shot my buck. They're going to shoot my buck. Well, it's not your buck. Unless you're talking about hunting behind a high fence and you paid for that animal, which I have no problem with. But unless that's the situation, they're not shooting your buck. I don't care if it was shot on your property, in a food plot that you planted. I don't care if you have trail camera pictures of this buck, if you've been watching it for years and passing on it for years. I don't care if you have sheds from a previous year. I don't care if it's on your hit list. I don't care if you've named it, which just absolutely sticks in my craw, and it's one reason I hate most deer hunting TV shows today. It's not your buck. The buck belongs to the people of the state of Michigan until you put a tag on it. So it was never yours. If the kid shoots it first and puts a tag on it, it's their buck. People say, well, we get them out there now, but will they stick with it? Will they still be a hunter in 20 years? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe, maybe not. But if we get these kids out there now, we put them in a positive hunting situation where they enjoy it, the weather's nice, they have an opportunity to see deer. Whether they stick with it or not, in my mind, is not the biggest issue. Because if we expose them to hunting, if they start to look at the world from a perspective of being a hunter and from wildlife management, a few years down the road, when it's time for them to vote on hunting-related issues, which they will be asked to, you can count on that in today's world, they will have that frame of reference, and they will be educated. And they won't be as easy a target to the anti-hunting groups who want to come in and fill people's minds full of garbage. And the people who have not hunted before are more inclined to go along with it. If we educate these kids now, if we give them the experience, they will be on our side later on. And the other thing I hear about a big knock on the youth hunt, people say, well, parents use this opportunity of the youth hunt to go out and shoot the deer themselves. The kid's in a blind with them, but the old man shot the buck. I got to be honest. I don't know how much that happens. The people I hang around with would never do that. The people tell me I'm being naive. They say, Avery, it happens far more than you think it does. And if that's the case, what a shame. What an absolute shame. However, if that does go on, the parent who did that obviously is not only not being a good example, they're being a dirtbag and they're being a violator. They're being a criminal. A parent who would do that, well, if somebody was going to do that, they're going to find another opportunity to violate that buck. They're going to go out at night or whatever. So I don't think we can stop the entire youth hunt just because some dirtbags go out there and kill bucks and put it on their kid's tag. You can't, what do they say? You can't legislate morality or whatever the term is. And if you know of somebody who does that, turn them in. So for all those reasons, I am in favor, except for the last one about the concern about adult shooting bucks, which I think is just terrible. And I pray it doesn't happen very often. But I am in favor of the youth hunt for many, many reasons. If a kid shoots a big buck, a trophy buck, well, maybe they'll get out there and shoot the biggest buck they'll ever shoot, and they'll never top that again. Oh, okay. All right. So, having said that, though, I'm a huge fan of the youth hunt. I would not be opposed to having the Michigan youth season be does only. In fact, I think that's a good idea. If we make the youth hunt does only, it does several things, including teaching these young hunters about herd management and the fact that a big old matriarchal doe is indeed a trophy. It's far harder to kill a big old doe than it is a stupid 1.5-year-old buck. Number 2, herd management. The Michigan DNR wants to reduce the number of does across the state, so make it does only. Now, I realize that this won't happen. This might not work in all parts of the state, because if in some part of the state you can't shoot does, well, in that area, the youth hunt would have to be bucks. But where allowed, I would like to see the Michigan youth hunt be does only. It teaches kids that does are a trophy. It teaches about whitetail management, and it takes some of that social pressure off the youth hunt. Gives the crybabies one last thing to cry about, one last thing to gripe about. I'll be out there. We'll see what Carter does. He's going to have a dart and crossbow in his hands. Deer's going to have to be close. I'm not going to let him take a shot unless it's 20 yards. No, I realize that, people say, your crossbow, you can shoot 70 yards. Nah, that's not going to happen on this hunt. It's going to have to be a big old doe. She's going to have to be quartered away. She's going to have to put her foot forward, give us a shot at 20 yards or less. We'll see what happens. Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine show, Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands coming up after the break. Then Nick Percy of Killer Food Plots. Is it too late to put in a food plot? I mean, the season starts in a couple of weeks, right? Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News talking about their big outdoor weekend. Also, Jay's 50th anniversary celebration this weekend. In hour number 2, we're talking goose hunting with San Sass, Michaela LeBute of MUCC. And in hour number 3, fall fishing with Michigan's Mr. Walleye, Mark Martin, here on Outdoor Magazine. All right, I'm going to have to change that spot for next week, Charlie, because we switched websites. For next week, I'll give you a new one. All right, my friends. Hey, thanks for joining me on this edition of Behind the Mic. Again, one last time, I would strongly encourage you tonight. Join me for Wednesday Night Live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I will be live from Jay's Sporting Goods to kick off their 50th anniversary celebration, 7 o'clock Eastern. We will give away a Rapid River knife, not this one. This is a folder. We'll give away a 50th anniversary, a Jay's 50th anniversary Skinner to somebody who's watching. My friends, have a good day. Thanks for joining me, and talk to you tonight, my friends.